I checked into that rundown motel just off the highway, hoping for a quiet night and nothing more. But the moment I stepped inside room 103, something felt wrong. The air was too still. The silence was heavy, and then the knocking started from inside the walls. What I thought was just a cheap place to rest became a waking nightmare. This wasn't just any room. It was hiding something. Something dark. Something alive. Tonight, you're going to hear what happened in that motel and why I'll never stay in one again. Stick around. It's a story you're not going to want to miss. And if you enjoyed this one, be sure to click subscribe, because tomorrow we have another special story for you. I had been on the road for almost 8 hours. Just me, my duffel bag, and the humming sound of the wheels on cracked asphalt. I was between jobs, moving from Colorado to Arizona, chasing a better opportunity. I hadn't planned on stopping overnight, but fatigue hit me hard somewhere around midnight. My GPS showed the next town as barely a dot, but it had one motel, the Red Pines, and it looked exactly like you'd imagine. Flickering neon sign, back parking lot, an empty lobby with a bell that didn't work unless you hit it hard. A tired-looking man in a stained undershirt finally emerged from the back room, dragging his feet like he'd just woken up from the dead. One night, he asked. I nodded. He handed me a rusted key with a red tag. Room 103, ground floor. No receipt, no ID check, just a quiet grunt as he turned and disappeared into the shadows again. I should have walked away. Something in my gut twisted, but I was too tired to argue with my instincts. I drove my car around and parked in front of the room. The lot was mostly empty except for an old van parked 2 rooms down. Windows blacked out with cardboard and duct tape. No lights on inside. Still, I felt eyes watching me. The door creaked open louder than it should have. The room smelled faintly of bleach and something sweet, rotting. The air conditioner rattled like something was stuck in the vents. I dropped my bag, locked the door behind me, and tried to settle in. I've stayed in worse places during my broke college years. The bed creaked, the light buzzed, the TV had only static, and the walls, they felt too thin. I was brushing my teeth in the bathroom when I heard it for the first time. Knock, knock, knock. 3 slow taps, not at the door, at the wall, the one behind the headboard. I froze, waited. Knock, knocked. This time, closer to the baseboard, lower, like someone was crawling on the other side. I opened the door. No one outside. I even knocked on the wall myself, half expecting it to sound hollow, but it felt off, almost like there was a gap between my room and whatever was behind that wall. I shrugged it off. Maybe the pipes, maybe an animal. I was exhausted. I turned off the light and laid on the bed. That's when the dream started. I saw the room exactly as it was, but the colors were wrong. Faded, red, like a filter had been laid over reality. I was still in bed, but something was standing at the edge of it. It wasn't shaped like a person, more like a shadow that pulsed. And it whispered something. I couldn't understand the words, but they echoed inside my skull like they were meant for me. I woke up gasping. It was 3:11 a.m. I sat up, trying to calm my heart. That's when I noticed the closet door was slightly open. I hadn't opened it. I reached for the lamp, but the bulb burst with a loud pop, pitch black. I grabbed my phone. The battery was at 2%. Even though I'd charged it earlier. And then CCCCCRAAATCH. From the closet, something dragging across the inside of the door. I leapt up, phone light shaking in my hand. I yanked the door open. Empty. Except there was a hole in the wall, about the size of a football, jagged edges, like someone had punched through from the other side. Inside it was nothing but darkness, and that smell again, sweet, rotten, human. My phone died. No flashlight, no lamp, no power. I grabbed my keys, shoes still half on, and burst out of the room. The hallway outside was silent. The old van, the doors down, had its side door open now. I swear someone was watching from inside, but I couldn't make out a face. I ran to the lobby. Locked. Lights off. I banged on the glass. Nothing. And then I saw the security monitors behind the desk. They were flickering. Room 103 was on the screen, and something was standing inside the room, exactly where I had just been. It was tall, too tall. Its head almost touched the ceiling. Its limbs were bent wrong, and it was swaying, like it was waiting. Watching. I backed away slowly, heart in my throat. I got in my car and drove without looking back. 2 hours later, at a gas station, I called the local sheriff, told them what happened. The guy didn't even sound surprised. You stayed at Red Pines, he asked. I said, yeah, he sighed. You're lucky you made it out. That place has been shut down a dozen times. Every time. Some new owner reopens it under a different name. People go missing. And we can't prove a damn thing. He paused. Room 103. Yeah, that's the one. We've had reports, scratching, whispering, even sightings. But by the time we get there, it's always empty. I asked him what was behind the wall. There was a long silence. Finally, he said, back in the 80s, a man went crazy, killed his family, said the voices told him to, said they were living inside the walls, watching him sleep. He hid their bodies inside the motel walls before hanging himself in room 103. I felt sick. I ended the call and sat in my car, watching the sun rise. I never went back, never told anyone until now. But sometimes, in dreams, I still see that room, that hole in the wall, and something behind it, waiting after some secrets stay buried. Others find a way back to you.